It was always at the end of everything and every phone call, it was love you, have a good day.
These text messages reveal a sister's bond.
I asked her what she wanted for lunch for her birthday, and she says, I want a big juicy hamburger.
Krista Kale's text from her sister Patti Matejcak always ended the same way.
She just told me that, she loved me and thank you.
That text would be the last.
I texted Patti and Sean both, and I said, please tell me you guys are okay. Nothing.
Deputies say Patti's son Thomas murdered her sister and her sister's fiancé, Sean Harrison.
We warned them.
Them, she says, are the Manatee County State's attorneys. Thomas had been arrested back in May and was charged with a first-degree felony after police say he attacked both Patti and Sean.
She's laying on the floor. Sean's head is all bloody. She says he threw me around like a rag doll.
A little over 3 months later, a judge ruled him incompetent to stand trial.
They told us that, obviously he's not going to be released due to the circumstances of his crimes, and needless to say, he was.
He was placed on conditional release in order to check into outpatient treatment in order to take certain medications. He was not ordered to a state mental hospital because court documents say he did not meet the criteria provided in this section of the law, which says only if the defendant's mental illness makes them incapable of surviving alone or with the help of willing and responsible family, or there is a substantial likelihood that in the near future, the defendant will inflict serious bodily harm to himself or another person.
We told them that this would inevitably happen.
Krista says releasing Tom didn't make any sense knowing that 2 years prior, he was arrested for strangling Patti.
He put a pillow over her head and said, I hope you die.
The family even sent this email to the state attorney after Tom was arrested for another crime in September during his conditional release, saying, how can he not understand the charges against him, but he understands the conditions of his release. Is it going to take Tom killing someone to get him away from the public? Patti and Sean are scared to death that he will be back out.
This isn't enough to stop him,
And the second time wasn't enough.
Right.
And now the third time.
Yes. And I was told today, well, going forward, I'm like, going forward? I don't have a sister anymore. What do you mean going forward?
And this investigation doesn't just stop with Thomas's case. 10 Investigates has uncovered the same thing is happening all across the Bay Area, even the state. From a sex offender arrested numerous times for indecent exposure, back out on conditional release.
Take all this passion and energy and direct it towards the people that might be able to make changes, whether it might be the Florida legislature to change the law, to give the courts some more tools.
To another woman who just a month ago faced a judge for petty theft.
We are trying to get her the psychiatric care that she needs, but it's hard.
She was found incompetent and let out, but is now locked up in Pasco County, facing charges of resisting arrest with violence. She just underwent a psych evaluation.
It's concerning. You have somebody that has a pending charge, and they're not going to face that pending charge because they're found to be incompetent.
Is that a loophole?
This law is really limited in what a prosecutor can and can't do.
Criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Roham Kansari says when someone is ruled incompetent and let out, there are no resources where the person is followed or tracked.
As it stands right now, with how the legislature has passed the law, there aren't the resources there to follow them around.
If a criminal gets sentenced, serves time in jail, and then they get put on parole or probation, they have probation office, parole officers. Are the people that are found medically incompetent, do they have anybody checking in on them?
No, they don't.
So it doesn't work like that?
It doesn't work like that.
This is where their trailer was.
The home where Patti and Sean were murdered has been taken away.
Now it's just this.
Krista says until something changes.
This is where everything happened.
Yep.
In July, too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Everything's always happened here.
Yes.
Other lives will be taken.
Do you think this is a gap in the system?
Yes. Huge gap. That's why we are trying to rally the troops as far as the government and the state's attorneys and the police departments and everybody to say, you see what's happening. People are literally dying. Innocent people are dying. And you guys have been warned that this has got to change.
And change did happen in the state of Minnesota recently after our colleagues uncovered the same gaps in their system. Legislators passing a law allocating $32 million to close the statewide gaps to treat and supervise mentally incompetent defendants. We've reached out to lawmakers here in Florida, and Krista is also now in contact with one of them in hopes the same change may happen here. Jennifer Titus, 10 Investigates.